Hello, everybody. This is Laura from Healthy Carnivore. I'm going to go over a little bit of my background. So, I am a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for over 23 years now. In 1991, I weighed 313 pounds after following advice of eating chicken breast with no skin, no fat, sugar free, or fat free dressings, salad dressings. What else did he say? And low fat everything, milk, cheese, cottage cheese, all those things. I did develop, I went to, did a lot of researching the old fashioned way with books and medical journals and veterinarian journals and came upon something what they call keto and did that for 28 years. Did still have some issues because I went and ate the keto treats and I didn't eat 1 or 2, I would eat 3 or 4, a day and destroyed my stomach and ended up with leaky gut. Ended up with joint problems, cystic acne, started to go through menopause at that time, great timing, and decided in 2019 to go carnivore after watching a video with, Doctor Baker, and so that is kind of where I started. So I'm going to check in just with some people who are here, and then we will get started on tonight's topic. Hey, Simpson. Nice to see you. Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl. I've been wondering, I was like, where's Cheryl been? I thought maybe you was on vacation. Tara, hello. Hopefully you're feeling a little better. I'm feeling awesome. I did the oregano oil up both nostrils. I put drops of it in both ears because they were a little sore this morning. Um, I followed a grain truck into town and I was like, no, stupid trucks. So I'm highly, highly allergic to corn. And, we have the bins here in town. They drop everything off here. So even though it's a very small town, we have large capacity. And then they're using the dryers because everybody's got to get it out of the fields when it's 17% wet, 17.9. So anyway, I guess that's how it goes sometimes. Hey, Oaktown, how are you? Sneaking in from work. Hey, all right, there you go. We won't tell anybody. So, for tonight's talk, what I'm going to go over is cortisol, which is definitely something I think a lot of us have struggled with, especially women. I'm not saying men don't have it, but the people I work with are probably 80% female to 20% male, I would say is probably pretty accurate. Um, and cortisol seems to be a big thing that I see a lot. So, cortisol, what is it? So, cortisol is a hormone that our bodies need. We need it for stressful situations. It kind of kicks in everything and gets us moving. It's kind of like a built in alarm system, but it's also there with your sleep wake cycle to wake you up in the morning. Um, it helps regulate our blood sugar and it's supposed to help keep it steady between meals. I don't know about any of you, but back in the day when I was eating the standard American diet, if I didn't have something every 2 hours, whether it was like a bag of peanuts or I would eat a lot of like your granola bar type stuff, granola broke up. If I didn't have that in my pocket in a baggie and I went shopping with my mother who can shop for I'm pretty sure 3 days straight without going to the bathroom or eating. I mean, I would just have this massive headache and I would just feel like I was gonna pass out. So, obviously, my cortisol was not working as it was supposed to. It maintains blood pressure and circulation. It controls inflammation and our immune response. It affects the sleep-wake cycle, like I said earlier, and it plays a role in energy use, such as burning fats, carbs, and proteins. One thing is it is more efficient when breaking down proteins and fats than it is when it has to burn carbs, just so you know. Hey, Jamie, how are you? Angie says, Laura, would you share any suggestions for suspected intestinal parasite cleanse protocol natural agents? Thanks. Um, I have not done this, but one of them is called wormwood. So I don't know if you can read that. I don't know if it's backwards for you guys, but wormwood. So wormwood, um, ivermectin, fenbendazole or membendazole, black walnut, which I cannot do, but some people can. I'm highly, highly allergic to the tree, so I have to be careful. So, what I would do is I would go out on YouTube University and I would type in um, cleanse for parasite cleanse, natural herbal remedy for that. It should give you a schedule of time, like to start. Like with the moon cycle, okay? Because you want to it should be like a week on, you'll be off of it for a little bit, and then you'll be back on. There should be a gap in there. I don't have the exact protocol written down because I have not done it. Haven't felt the need. I have had people who did it, and I just had them go out and look for that information. I do know that in the beginning, it kills the adult parasites. And then you have that window where you don't do anything, and then you start again, and that's to get the egg, the larvae. um, I would say the majority, I don't know that there's a ton of people out there that um, have parasites in the United States. I could be wrong, but I don't the people that I know that have done it are like everything was the same. They didn't notice anything in their stools, nothing was different. So, I don't know. I'm not sure that we have to do that many. And I think you can buy some all everything's already put together for you. I just have some of the ingredients minus the black walnut. I always have ivermectin on hand 4 hours a day, 7 days a week. Okay, so conditions um, that can happen. So, too much cortisol can do a couple things. Okay, so it causes chronic stress, it can cause Cushing's syndrome, which is weight gain, especially in the trunk. So, your body, your upper body, your abdomen, your face. It can also increase your blood pressure. It can make your blood glucose go extremely high. It can have you can have mood swings. And I'd be like, what's the difference between that and menopause? It feels like it's the same thing. So, like I said, especially weight gain around the belly, which we all know visceral fat is scary. We don't want that. We want to prevent that. Poor sleep with really high levels, you're going to have anxiety, poor sleep, and you're going to have brain fog, which most of the time after you've been doing carnivore or keto or ketovore, any ketogenic type diet where you're in ketosis, you should be getting less and less brain fog as you go. If you're continuing to see lots of brain fog and especially sleep issues too, the first thing that I would suspect would be high cortisol. uh, Bone loss and muscle wasting due to too much cortisol. It suppresses the immune function, which makes you more prone to infections. And I will say, I was keto at the time. It was probably 14, 15 years ago. And the facility I was working in was a nursing home. Was it there or was I down there? Anyway, we had some mold in the building, so I just thought I would kept getting respiratory infection, that it was that. So they had remediated that, had somebody come in, tested, it was negative, but I caught everything that year. I mean, every single thing that came along. Somebody sniffled, I had the sniffles. Somebody had, I had everything. Didn't have the flu because I don't get the flu. Um, I've only had the flu once, and I've had pneumonia more than once, but the worst pneumonia I got was in 1996 when I took the thing that was supposed to prevent it. Um, let's see. So, one thing too is there is such a thing as too little cortisol. And then I'll kind of go over how you can test for this. Too little is basically what they call Addison's disease. It's adrenal insufficiency. It can happen when, like, long steroid use, like extended periods of time of steroid use, because that basically shuts the adrenal gland down. So it's not going to be producing the cortisol. When you see that, you are going to have fatigue. You're going to have weakness. You're going to have low blood pressure. You can have dizziness with that, weight loss. loss of appetite, low blood sugar, nausea, and abdominal pain. Sounds great, doesn't it? Kind of sounds like a flu right there almost. Um, so some of the things that you can do to not over stress yourself and make you produce more of the cortisol. Easy thing that's free, sleep. Try to get at least 7 hours of quality sleep. Limit your processed carbs and sugars, of course. Daily movement and exercise, but not overtraining. So I know there are some people who do HIIT workout. I used to do HIIT all the time. The older I got, I found that that bumped my cortisol level higher, so I don't overtrain anymore. So trying to manage stress, I don't know how we're supposed to do that in these times, but okay. Deep breathing. So there are breathing exercises like Wim Hof is a breathing exercise routine you can do. You have your cold exposure, you have your prayer time if you're a praying person, and then, of course, time outdoors. I also think grounding needs to be in there. They did not talk about that, but I think it needs to be. But even just time out in nature, even if it's just going for a walk in a park, I really think that's good. Avoiding stimulants too late in the day. So, your caffeine, another stimulant, I hate to say this, is screen time. So if you can try to shut her down an hour before you go to bed and try not to look at the blue light. I've never used blue light blockers. I have no idea if they work well. I just feel like I can control shutting it off for free and I don't have to buy something. So there are things that you can take, like adaptogens. So ashwagandha, rhodiola is one, and that is something I absolutely love. I do think that is something good. So high fat, keto, or carnivore are going to help regulate cortisol. So they're going to stabilize your blood sugar. They're going to prevent the spikes and crashes that you see, especially if you get to wear a monitor and you can see what you're doing. Fat and protein keeps that steady so you don't have those spikes up and down. Okay. It lowers inflammation, which less inflammation means less chronic cortisol output. That means that those adrenals are not sitting there just pumping it out. That ketogenic lifestyle is going to support hormone production. We know that because of the bump in fat. Cholesterol is the backbone for cortisol and other hormones, which I think we all kind of know that. It improves sleep once you are fat adapted. Now, that takes a little bit of time, and every person is 100% different. I don't think I was truly what I would call fat adapted until 3 years into my 6.5 years of carnivore. I think I toyed around, I stayed kind of close, but once I bumped it up to the 80/20 fat to protein ratio, I found I was not fat adapted, and Code Brown definitely let me know. So it took a little time to get that in. But yes, once you have that done, that will help you. You'll be able to sleep deeper, which automatically is going to lower the cortisol, reduces stress on the adrenals. So if you aren't consistently, taking in carbs, that intake system will relax because it has to work so much harder to utilize carbohydrates, where, like I said, fat and protein is so much easier to be able to do. I'm just going to go check on some comments real quick. Hey, Wendy, how are you? And how is Clarence? Hopefully, he's doing better each time we see you. Hey, Bill. Angela says, thanks for the content, Laura. Always grateful for the shared knowledge. Your thoughts on the product monochloral lauracilin. I will have to look that one up. So let me write that one down because I am not sure. I may know it by a different name, but I'm just writing it down so I know what I'm looking for. I will look that up and get back with you maybe next week. We'll see if I can't do it while I'm on here. So let's see here from Tennessee. Great, Janice. Good to see you. Bill says he's listening to us on 2 times to catch up. I probably sound crazy. Have you gotten enough people subscribing to you can start doing lives? Oh, I'm Bill. Oh, Bill, is your YouTube channel just your name with the 411? Because if it is, I will go out and subscribe if you need more subscribers for sure. Okay, 19 more. Hey, there's 19 people here. There's actually 20. As soon as I see if that is what his YouTube channel is, I was going to say everybody should go out there and just see what they think. Um, Hello, Beth. So Cheryl says, "What do you think about grounding sheets or mats?" I have one. I have a grounding mat on my bed. Um, I always ground it outside, not that I still don't sometimes, but I find that my sleep, my recovery from workouts, I don't get sore if I have my grounding mat on the bed. We did notice that he tripped on the cord one time. And all of a sudden we're like, I'm not sleeping as well. Are you sleeping as well? No. Okay. Well, I still feel a little, achy. It's like, that's weird. And then I saw that it was pulled out of the negative in the wall. And I was like, well, there's the answer. So I check that every day now because the sleep is so much better. So I absolutely love my grounding mat. I still do think the outside is free. It's free. So you can go hug a tree, touch a tree, stand in barefoot if you can, wherever you live. So yeah. Cindy says she's just checking in to say hello. Hey, good to see you. Let's see, what is your channel name? Trying to find it. I definitely most likely probably do too much caffeine many days. Yeah. Take out the spaces. Thank you, Bill. Okay, so it's just Bill Cook 411 with no spaces. Okay, awesome. Okay, so yep, so I will go out and do that. Angel says, how do you acquire ivermectin? Thanks. Well, right now, anything that is coming in from outside of the United States, they have on hold. So that's where my source is outside the United States. It's actually made here, shipped over there, and then has to be shipped back when you order it because for some reason in the United States, like for the last 4.5 years, you weren't allowed to get it inside the United States. So I have several emails shot towards a certain um, person to see it, like, hey, like, can you guys look at this? So we'll see if that happens. Let's see. Bill says, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So I will definitely go out there, Bill, and look you up and see what we can do. Um, some of the ways that you can also um, if you have low cortisol, some of the ways that you can bring that up, they're pretty simple. So you can balance your salt intake, and so that is your mineralized salt. Okay, that's not the junky salt that you see on the shelf. Um, Another thing, which this helps support the adrenals, especially if you have like the Addison type low cortisol, is it saying lots of fat, lots of protein. Um, and some people at first you need to do like the 3 meals a day, then you can go down to two, then you can go to one. But don't be one of those that jumps right from 3 meals a day to OMAD or every other day, because that's going to be too much stress. You haven't gotten those adrenals happy yet. So you'll need to take that a little slower to get that there. The light exposure in the morning. If you can see the sun coming up, that is the best for you. If you have red light, that's good too. Slow, consistent strength training or walking. Just plain Jane, normal pace walking, not walking crazy fast, stuff like that. Adequate vitamin B. If you're eating keto or carnivore, red meat, you should be getting plenty of vitamin D unless you have problems methylating. Okay. In that case, you need to have methylated B, okay, which is a liposomal that you can get in liquid. Stress reduction and steady daily routine so that you don't get yourself worked up. Trying to keep, and this is easy for me because I'm OCD and I like to do the same things. Today was a little weird because normally Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's my run day, but with my sinuses this morning was acting up. My balance was off, and I was like, I'm not pitching off of the treadmill today. So decided to hold off on that. So if you have high cortisol and you're wanting to try to lower it, like I said, sleep is a priority, 7 to 9 hours consistently. Try to get that quite a bit. Some people, I wouldn't eat fat like 2 minutes before you go to bed, but I have found that sometimes take your magnesium, take your D, take a couple bites of crispy ribeye fat or a slab of butter before going to bed, and I have found that that does help some people. Of course, lower your carb or your carbs. If zero is best, if you can get to that. Decreased alcohol because it helps you fall asleep, but then as soon as it wears off, which is an hour per drink, basically the liver will work through and then it's going to have you wide awake. Lowering your caffeine intake, of course, is another one. Hey, look at that. My brother is here. Russ. Um, Stress management. So, breath work. Like I said, there's like Wim Hof, there's other breathing techniques you can look up. Prayer. And like I said, even journaling, if you like to journal, some people, like if you told me I had to journal every day, that would cause me stress because I don't want to do that. Um, Never felt like journaling. I don't want my children to be scarred for life later on when I die if they have to read my journals. So I'm not doing that. I mean, I'm good now, but back in the day, didn't need it. So the other thing is being out in nature, like we said earlier. Protein rich whole food diets. So carnivore keto works really, really well with having too high of cortisol to help get that down. Regular, just walking, okay? No crazy hit exercise going out and yeah, going crazy. And then, like I said earlier, magnesium, omega 3s. If you're eating plenty of fish, fatty fish, you may be completely fine. If you're eating enough fat, you may be completely fine on that. And then, like we said, that you can do the adaptogens such as ashwagandha and rhodiola if you want to. These are not required. You don't have to do this. So, really, yeah. So, really, I think the thing is the best thing to do is to know where your cortisol is. I'm gonna quote Russ, what Russ always says. So he always says the proof is in the blood work. And so on, especially on this, I absolutely agree 100% on that. So Russ, write it down. I agreed with you 100% on something. It's pretty good. Um, so I would go and you can have what's called a Dutch test. That's a urine test. You can have a 24-hour urine. You can compare that. I mean, it depends. It's going to cost you some money. You can have the cortisol blood testing done as well. Um, so, I mean, it's going to be up to what you want to do. I think as you do this type of eating lifestyle, I think you're going to find that you're in tune with your body better than you ever were before. And you're going to know, like every single night, I can't seem to fall asleep. Um, I feel nervous all the time. I feel anxious when it's not something you used to have. If you start noticing like the round face, but you're not doing anything differently, or abdominal fat that's showing up that wasn't there to begin with, these are all symptoms that you want to definitely watch for. So if you have the finances to go out and test, then I would go ahead and do that. Um, and then next week, and these are somewhat related, but not the same. Next week, I'm going over adrenal insufficiency, which is pretty major. Okay. Um, it happens a lot. And a lot of it, and I know I'm a nurse and I am not a doctor, I'm not giving medical advice, but a lot of the issues with the adrenals and the kidneys and the liver comes from pharmaceuticals. Okay. The amount of side effects that go with those are just nuts. Okay, let's see. Russ says we agree on lots of things. Well, good. Let's see. Angie says, Laura, could you share with me your honest opinions about gastroenterologist? Ugh. Well, hmm. I think some of this testing that they do, if you have significant family history, first degree relatives, mother, father, I suppose grandma, grandpa, siblings that have had something like cancerous, that is potentially something that me, myself, I would probably do a few times. But I will tell you, when I was keto and I went and had my tests done, I always had polyps, 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 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. Never anything, but they were there. After a year of being carnivore, I've done it twice and had 0. So I'm not, unless I have an issue, I'm not going back because the risk of perforation is super high in that, and I don't feel like taking that risk. If I have any issues, if I notice anything different, I may do something about that, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing an upper or a lower for myself. I'm not saying that you don't have to, but I would just be mindful. I would really look at what the risks versus the benefits are on any procedure. There's lots of things that I don't get that they're like, you don't get a mammogram. The amount of radiation is not worth it for me personally. And I had breast cancer years ago, 28. So, um, an ultrasound is a much better indicator. It's a much better diagnostic tool. And every time I would have a mammogram, they're like, oh, we can't see what we need to. We're just going to do an ultrasound. I'm like, why don't we skip that and go straight to the ultrasound, considering I'd already had it? And they never want to do that. So I'm like, well, if you're not going to do that, I don't need it. And so also don't do that. And that is because I know the amount of radiation that is given to you. It is directed at one little area instead of it being able to be over the entire body. And I just say, no, thank you for me. But that's me. I'm not saying you have to do that. You have to weigh the risks versus the benefits. I thought cortisol was what they inject into. That's cortisone. I think you're being funny. I'm not sure about you, Russ. Um, so let's see. I'm about to upload my feral kitten eating from my hand, like 2 minutes. Oh, there you go. I would watch that. I love cats. So Sharon says, same here. Always the follow up ultrasound that had a huge copay. Yeah. And I would have been fine paying that copay with the ultrasound, but I'm not willing to do both when every single time. I think I've had 6, maybe 7. Every single one of them led to ultrasound. So not, and if they're so concerned about my health, then they would be willing to just go to the ultrasound because they can. With a certain diagnosis, is you don't have to do the other. And I know that I code. I'm trained in coding. It's a choice. And if they're so concerned about my health and really have my health at hand, why wouldn't they go ahead and just do that? But they won't. So I don't go back. Um, let's see. Bill Cook says he's done some TikToks. I don't have TikTok. I don't have time. Angie says, thanks. I'm under the same opinions. Sharon says, correct. I'd skip right over it too. Yeah. And I wish they would. And I'm not saying someday I won't find a physician who wants to do that, but um, I'm not concerned about it with the way I eat. I really am not. I'm very clean eating. I do ruminant animals. I do occasional eggs. But that's it. And salt and water and fat. That's it. So, you know, knock on wood, hopefully we don't have to worry about that again, but it's been like a long time, long, long time. I mean, 28 and I'm 54, so I am not concerned at all. Okay, let's see. Oh, Cindy's going to email Russ. Good. All right. Well, I am planning on getting off of here. I'm glad it didn't take no. So I can't I've done the homemade salsa at Russ twice and both times I ended up with acid reflux. So I don't know. Maybe I didn't cook mine long enough. I can't do any tomato products forever my whole life if the tomatoes were not cooked to the point of where the acid is knocked down enough. So, yeah, I do a fermented pickle every once in a while. I can do that, but that's about it. I cannot do bone broth, beef or chicken. It's too high in histamines, and yeah, it's crazy. So, anyway, don't forget if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. And Bill Cook, BILLCOOKE 411. If you don't mind, he needs 19 more people to be able to do his own live videos. If you guys would go out there and just subscribe, um, that would be helpful. And if you did like this, hit the like button, share it out if you know anybody that has that issue. Um, so Chow says, what grounding mat would you suggest or what kind do you recommend for sleeping on? If you give me just a second, I'll tell you the exact one I have. Oh, hang on just 1 second. Sorry about that. I took call tonight, so I had to talk to a patient really quickly. So sorry about that. Oh, let me look up the grounding mat. I was like, I know I was getting ready to do something. All right. And this is one I do have, so I will make sure to let you know because it did. So the one I have, the grounding mat that I have, it's just letters in this name, okay? Of course, all letters, but anyway, it's all capitalized. It is EOHELGRO. And the reason I use that one is because of how big it is. It will cover a queen size bed. They do have several sizes. You have twin, king, California king, they have all the sizes. But that is exactly what it looks like. Okay. And I just put it down and then I put the fitted sheet over the top of it. You don't even know it's there. My husband didn't know it was there for several days until he was like, I didn't sleep very good. And I was like, yeah, yeah. Okay. So let's see. Sorry about that. Oh, Sharon uses a ground also. Good. Gotta fast again to get those brain cells. Yeah. Da-da. Sharon. Okay. So let's see. I saw something, Wendy had said something about, yeah, Darlene. I purposely had it muted because I'm on call and I had a patient call. So I had to be careful with that. 17 brain cells. That's funny. Oh, it's funny. I'm fasting right now, actually. So, um, group of girls that are on our Marco Polo group. I have several groups, but one group of them is fasting. And so that worked out perfectly for me. I was like, yay. My first life here, ooh, 87 degrees in Wisconsin. I know it was 88 here. It's supposed to be 88 or 89 tomorrow and Wednesday. And I'm like, you do know it's fall, right? I mean, we did turn the calendar. It is fall. I don't know what's happening. Let's see. Well, catching the last part, this is important to me. Hey, Karen, how are you? Hello, grounding. Steak is also an option. Yes, Alex, that is true. And actually, I did a copper rod in our garden, and that did make a difference. Let's see, Clarence. Okay, Clarence is still doing great. That's excellent. So just in case there's anybody out there that doesn't know Clarence, so this is Wendy's husband, and he had been on several antibiotics and had quite a few issues from the antibiotics. Started to kind of basically what they call failure to thrive, was losing weight, had all the issues from that, and basically was told to go home and enjoy what life he had left. Um, and I can't remember if you're in British Columbia, I can't remember where you guys are for sure. But anyway, and I was like, whoa, I was like, no, 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 we can fix this. Let's take baby steps and get him to where he can eat and he can do, they refuse to do like feeding tube or to help him in any way whatsoever, which is really criminal. And yeah, so yeah, I'm glad she missed all of my Olive Garden comments. I did miss all of them. Dang it. That's okay. I'll listen to your comments tomorrow. I will be in pajamas when I'm listening, though. But the following week, I will wear appropriate clothing when I am on there live with you. So, hey, Brenda, how are you? Perfect. Okay. So, I think that's it. Hopefully, I don't get any more surprise phone calls. I have some packages to make up for people who Nova Scotia, Canada. That's where the Benjamins are from. Okay. So, that must be something they do there now. I don't know. It is criminal and it should be illegal. So anyway, I try to keep these a little bit shorter. I don't want to, I get sick of hearing myself talk. So I'm sure people do. But anyway, hopefully this is great information. If there is something you want me to research, to go over, let me know in the comments and I will do my best. I do have several already ready to go, and but I can add it to the list. Okay. Let's see. G Golden. I'm in southern Wisconsin. Is in Yeah, it's too hot. Too hot. Russ is probably like, I love the hot. If one had a sore throat, which of the bottles should one take drops from? Both. So the elderberry, I won't say the other word. The elderberry, I would do one full dropper under the tongue, let it sit there for about 30 seconds, swallow. Then the other one, I think you have the oregano oil. The oregano oil, if you got a little bit of water, I'd put about 3 drops in there and I'd take her back. It might be a little bit spicy, but it won't be bad. I put it in a carrier oil. That helps get rid of bacteria. Elderberry is good for viral. So that's what I would do. Asking me for a hetero friend. I didn't say the word. I just said elderberry, okay? Anyway. Oh, gonna get me in trouble. Anyway, so like I said, if there's something you want to go over, definitely put it in the comments and I will do my very, very best to get that done for you guys. Like I said, don't forget to go out and check out Bill Cook, COOKE 411. He needs 19 more people so he can start doing his own lives. And I want to see cats, okay, and kittens. I just do. So the grounding mat for the bed is a mat or sheet. It's a mat. It's really thin and it's got corners like that. It has like these straps that go over around the corners to keep it on the bed. And then it just has a plug in that you put over to the ground. Okay. In the wall. It was so funny because literally I find that I thought that I was semi smart, but I took everything out of the package. I was so excited, stripped everything off the bed, got it on there, plugged in the one side, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, where the hell's the plug? Because I was like looking for the plug. And I was like, duh, stupid. All you need is the negative. I was just like, wow. And I don't know if I even told my husband I did that. I don't want to give him any ammunition. So, okay, 52 views from 5 minutes ago. Wow. Kitten views. See, kittens, puppies, and cute kids will get you lots of views. So cool. All right. So anyway, thank you guys. I will see you guys, like I said, next Monday, and we will do adrenal insufficiency and some of the things that go with that. Um, it might be a little longer because I'm actually going to go over a protocol that can kind of help you with following an eating style after that. Okay. Yep. Janice, yeah, you do put the sheet over the top of the mat. Um, and I love mine. I do. And I don't remember. It wasn't super expensive. Because I don't like to spend money. I'm very frugal. I don't know. I've already lost it. Anyway, I know it was less than 60 bucks. It may have been less than 40 bucks. I don't remember, but I do know that it was very good. So, do the fitted sheets fit over the mat? Absolutely. Oh yeah, the mat is literally, I don't even know, like thin, very thin. So yeah, I have no problem. And we have like the mattress that's got the extra cushion on it, and still our sheets I have no problem at all. So they all stay in place. And so yeah. So anyway, thank you guys. I will see you guys for sure next Monday. Don't forget tomorrow night. Mr. Russ on Homesick Buckeye will be doing We Grillin' Baby. So it'll be 7:30, I think, Eastern time. I don't know. Maybe it's 7:30 Central Standard Time, and I'm not sure what time it is for him. Anyway, go check him out too tomorrow night. Him and Rick. So, anyway, you guys have a wonderful Monday, and I will see you guys for sure next Monday.